Everybody's abandoned them.
Tories out! 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 Tories out!
Sisters and brothers and comrades, it's my privilege to introduce the next speaker, a man who has fought alongside trade unionists all his life, has never been afraid to stand up for the beliefs and values. He's never flinched in the constant attack that he's stood with, and he stood alongside Jeremy Corbyn, our leader, in a magnificent leadership of our party that has given the heart and soul back to Labour. Comrades, a huge welcome for John McDonnell, the next Chancellor of our economy.
Brothers and sisters, thank you. Brothers and sisters, let me just start with this pledge for us all. To the victims of Grenfell Tower, we pledge now, we will stand with you and your families all the way through. We bring you sympathy, but more importantly, we bring you solidarity. We will not rest until every one of those families is properly housed within the community in which they want to live, not shipped round the country the way they are at the moment. Grenfell Tower symbolised for many everything that's gone wrong in this country since austerity was imposed upon us, and the way in which those who maybe not be wealthy, those who are poor, those who are on low wages, those who desperately need succour, who need a roof over their heads, and yes, who desperately need shelter, the way in which this brutal system treats them. And we will stand with them. We will stand with them. 10 years ago, the Tories' friends in the City of London and elsewhere, the bankers and the profiteers, crashed our economy. And when the Tories came to power in 2010, they used that crisis as an excuse to impose the neoliberal trickle-down economics on our society, and alongside the tax cuts to the rich, was an inherent part of that theory. It was the austerity measures to force working class people to pay for the crisis that the rich, the bankers, the profiteers, the Tories caused. And since then, people have suffered. 1.25 million turning up at food banks last year because they were hungry and starving under austerity. I tell you this, we give a pledge to that 1.25 million and all the others. When we bring this government down, we will feed our people and there will be no hunger in our society. Austerity has meant a housing crisis we've not seen since the Second World War. 70,000 of our children are being brought up in temporary accommodation. Homelessness in this city has doubled under this Tory government. In the fifth richest country in the world, we have people sleeping and dying on our streets. I give this pledge. When we come to power, we will build 1 million homes, 500,000 council homes. We will end homelessness in this country once and for all. And you talk to any health worker, doctors, nurses, ancillary workers, cleaners, and they'll tell you what it's like in our hospitals and in our surgeries. The numbers being treated on trolleys in our corridors. In recent years, 50,000 operations for children have been cancelled as a result of cuts, but also the privatisation of our NHS. I tell you, when we get rid of May and the Tories, we will end the privatisation of the NHS. We will fund the health service. And I'm sick of every time there's a tragedy, Tory politicians congratulating our firefighters, our police, our health workers, and then cutting their pay. I've had enough of that hypocrisy. So we're saying this. They've cut 10,000 firefighters, we'll give them their jobs back. 20,000 police officers, we'll give them their jobs back. But I tell you, we'll make sure they're properly paid, we'll end the pay cap, and we'll restore trade union rights to protect wages in this country. And the people who borne the brunt of austerity are two groups in particular. 80% of the austerity cuts have fallen on women. Young women who care, and older women who've retired and who are caring because care has been withdrawn from over 1 million of our fellow citizens. I tell you, we'll introduce budgets which treat women fairly, redress the discrimination that they've suffered, and make sure there is real equal pay in this country. But the other group, the brothers and sisters are here with us at the front. The other group are disabled people. And I tell you this, I was proud to be on every demonstration, every occupation organised by disabled people against the cuts who are heroes and heroines this movement. So when we come to power, I tell you, when we come to power, we will scrap the work capability assessment that has brutalised disabled people. So I say this time and time again when we come to power. But I want to say this, I want to thank the 13 million people who voted for Jeremy Corbyn's Labour at the last election. Because what you've done, you've pushed back the Tories from implementing the full-scale austerity that they wanted to. Yes, they've done this grubby deal with the reactionary DUP. And I tell you, I don't want to hear any more criticisms of us about magic money trees anymore, because there's one growing outside number 10. And if they can find the money for the DUP, they can find the money for the rest of the country and for working class people. So I say when we come to power, because you might have noticed, this isn't the strong and stable government that they hoped for. We need now to bring an end to this government at the first opportunity. And I give you this pledge. In there, in the House of Commons, we'll use every device we possibly can, not just to block their policies, but to bring them down at the first opportunity. But you know, you can help. We can all do this together. We can do this together. We've had 100,000 people out on the streets today. Let's build and build and build in every community. Because we want in every community now, through every trade union, through every community group, through every campaigning group, People organising now to stand up and say, enough is enough, we're not taking any more. And in that way, working together, we can divide and demoralise them and drive them from office. And what do we need then? I tell you this, what we need then, not just a Labour government, I want a socialist government under Jeremy Corbyn. We campaigned for years under that slogan, another world is possible. But I tell you now, another world is in sight. Let's seize the moment, comrades.